most people are not aware of the gap between what is happening right now and what you feel right now. Because people think what is happening is what is causing you what you're feeling. But one thing that I need to show you guys today is the gap between what is happening and what you're feeling. They're completely different. For example, let me give you an example so you guys can be able to understand what I'm coming from, what I'm trying to give you guys so you guys can be able to understand like what is this guy saying, what he like what you mean by that. So when a woman says no, or she rejects you, or whenever you experience rejection, that is just what is happening right now. How you feel about rejection, that is how you feel inside yourself. Meaning the rejection itself is not causing you to feel any type of way. You are feeling the way you're feeling because of the meaning that you think rejection is when it comes to you, the self image that you're trying to protect. You see, I used to be in the same position as you guys. When I experienced rejection, when I experienced no, I used to think it has something to do with me. It has something to do with my nose. It has something to do with my looks. It has something to do with my height. It has something to do with everything else besides just understanding of the fact that what is happening is just happening. And it has no meaning to it that can be able to attack the who I am as a person. So guys, listen, I'm not here to teach you how to date people or to date female. I'm here to change the perceptions that you have when it comes to things. That's my goal. My goal is not to give you a dating advices or any of that. My goal here is to teach you how you can be able to take the action freely without letting your experiences or or something that comes and goes as an experiencer to be able to control your action, to be able to create your next move. For example, if you think what is happening right now is what is causing you to feel the emotions, the negative feelings that you're feeling, then you're gonna be able to not take actions because you have an image that you put towards what is happening, and that image is gonna be more powerful. It's gonna have a more power over your mind. So your mind, to make itself feel better, to make itself calm down, to make itself like be in a safe place, it has to in the comfort zone, it has to take a different directions. That's what I'm telling you. The gap between what is happening right now and what you are feeling, they are completely different. So if you come to understand that nothing can cause your feeling or to cause how you feel inside of yourself, then you're gonna come to understand things are just happening. Meaning, if you think about it, think about how you feel when someone says something. When you see what someone is saying, when you see beyond those words, you come to understand whatever they're saying has a completely different different story than what you are feeling at that moment. For example, let's make it very clear so you guys can be able to understand very clear. Let's say right now there's a the war in Iran, right? The U.S. in Iran and Israel, wherever that place is, right? You see, some people in America right now they have a different perceptions. You know, they have a different perception when it comes to our president Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? They're against the actions that he's taking, per se, right? They're against those actions, but his actions is not what is causing those people to feel any type of way. Those people feel the way they feel because the negative feeling is not coming from Trump. The negative feeling is coming from those people themselves. Let me give you an example. If you think like the war in Iran is bad, it's not because the war in Iran is bad or war itself is bad. No, the war itself is not bad. It's the story that you add to a war that is what is causing your suffering. For example, you see war as a bad thing. You see war as a negative feeling that creates death, that goes against human nature. But if you come to see deeper, war is just an experience, something that comes and goes. We all have seen there's a lot of wars before. Listen, before I was born, there was a lot. It might be close to a million or something. A lot of wars have happened, killing each other from back then for our ancestors, fighting, fighting, fight. Guess what? It always comes and goes because it's just an experience. So if it's something that comes and goes, then it's not something that is causing you to feel some type of way, because a lot of people still carry over the past negative feelings. For example, because of the previous wars that we have encountered, we still have the same negative feelings of what happened before to now. So the previous negative feelings is still there. So now the actions that Donald Trump was taking is kind of trigger those feelings that you already have inside of you before you even take those actions. Because I don't support the actions of fighting, but at the same time, we cannot deny the experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to fight nobody because I love everybody. But one thing you have to understand, let me tell you something so people can never to understand. Anytime there's a wars or anytime countries, states, continents, they're fighting, all you have to know, all these people are scared. They all fear something in between. They all fear of losing something. So when you see people fighting, it's all about power. They're all seeking for power. Someone he want to show himself as someone who is dominated the other person. Like they're all looking for power. It's all about fear. That's the reason we even have guns. We even have nuclear weapons. All this is fear. It's all about fear, you know, because nobody want to lose. All listen, everybody who got big guns and big weapons, they're all afraid. I'm telling you, they're all afraid. So to protect that fear that they have to create something that it can make them feel safe. That's why they got the big guns. That's why they got the nuclear. That's why they got all this military, big air force. All these things is all about fear. It's all about afraid of losing something. All these countries, they're all listen. Everybody, listen. It's all about fear. It's all about fear. That's why I don't pay attention in those things. Cause all I see is I see bitchness happen in these two people in these two countries Because all about bitchiness. It's all about fear. Someone wanna be on the top. Somebody don't wanna lose anything. Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, if I was listen, I'm not trying to say that fear is bad. No, 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 no. I'm trying to say fear is not bad. It's just an experience, and we can see it based off a lot of countries, they all run in fear. For example, the UK used to be the strongest country before. You know what I'm saying? It used to be the one in power, the one who was had all the power, all the control. He was the big boss, the big boss here to control everybody, put everybody in check. You know, guess what? They're no longer in power like that because experience is all about experience. Things comes and goes. Now, the Russians was the one in power before. They had all the big guns, all these things, all the funny stuff. It's like even China at the time, he had something else too. So it's like everybody, whenever you get a power, you don't want to lose it. And when you don't want to lose something, you're gonna try to find a way how you can keep it. You understand what I'm saying? And the way to keep it, they come to realize the way to stay in power is to have a nuclear weapons. That's the only way to stay in power. If you don't want to lose what you got, you have to have a nuclear weapons. And that's how everybody want to race to be the nuclear weapons. And that's what I'm saying. So my point of saying all of this is this. Whatever, either they have a nuclear weapons or whatever things, big guns, whatever things they have, that is not what is causing you what you feel. Whatever you feel is because of the fear that you have what is gonna happen when something happens. For example, if you, every country in a continent with the big guns fight each other, you know you're gonna be involved as well. Because since everybody in this earth are connected, listen, we are not the enemy. We create enemies. You know what I'm saying? You see, the moment we label things, we label this is African, this is American, this is Chinese, Asians, this is what Russians. You see, all these gaps is trying to differentiate ourselves. When we see other people as who we are not, then we're gonna try to attack those people because we think those people are different from us. But if we come to understand everybody are the same thing, listen, we have the power to make this earth better if we can all come together. But the thing is this, the fear of what's gonna happen, the fear of who I'm gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? All this, it's all fear. It's all fear. That's why there's a certain countries that they cannot have a power because the people who think they got power, they don't want you to get the power. Because if you get the power, now you seem as a threat to my territory. You seem as a threat to 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 myself and my people or my family. But the best thing that I want you guys to understand, if you're afraid to lose something, that means you depend on that thing. If you depend on that thing, you're gonna always suffer. People they're gonna know where to press your buttons. Understand what I'm saying? Like me here. I think listen, I was born in East Africa. But since I've been here in the US, for some reason I think I'm kinda attached to this place. For some reason. Because the way I see it is any place I am, as you can see Iran right now, the people who live in Iran right now, they have to support Iran because no matter where they stand, if it is war, they still gonna be involved. You're gonna be involved. No matter if you're against it or you accept it, you're gonna still be involved. They might drop something and you dead. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it. That's why I support where I am, even though I don't support the decisions they make. But I would love to see dominated this other people sometimes. But listen, this is just that one is just a fantasy. But my point, and that is why it's causing the suffering I'm gonna be having because of the attachment that I'm having toward things, toward life. That is what I want to tell you guys. If anything happens, any actions Donald Trump is making is not causing your pain, it's not causing your suffering. You are already suffering. Guess what? The action Trump is making, why for some reason I am not suffering? I don't feel the same way people feel protest. Listen, guess what? I don't even care. Listen, I just don't even care. Listen, I just don't care. I just don't. You see, but you care too much, and that's why you get hurt. But for me, I just don't care. Whatever happens, happens. If we lose, we lose. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, listen, I get it. You know, the feeling of, you see, I am guilty of thinking that you have something to lose. But to be honest, we don't have anything to lose. Like everything you see in your life, they're not yours, ladies and gentlemen. They are just experience, nothing that you own. Even United States, America, we don't own this shit. We don't own this place. Nobody own this place. Even China, the Chinese people, they don't own that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, they don't own that shit. The fact that they're holding it down like is they belongs to them. That is why they suffer when when people try to get it or people try to conquer that place is gonna become a problem because they think they own that place. Whenever you own something and someone trying to take it from you, you're gonna always trying to protect it because you depend on that thing. But if you're someone who listen, you can take me anywhere you want me to go. I'm ready to go, even though I don't want to.